Shalom, I'm giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Rakwakwada. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of you elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to title this video, They Used to Teach. Give me a second. Let me close this. They used to teach that hell is in condition. Now they teach that hell is a place that you go to burn in forever. And I'll kind of I'll modify the title a little bit. Also, in front of the title, I want to put in meddle not with them that are given the change. So I've been telling you, I don't know, for the last year and a half, maybe 2 years at most, that I noticed that as of 2.5 years ago, almost 3, that the IUIC now teaches that hell is a spiritual place. When you die, your spirit burns in hell forever and ever. You know, pursuant to Luke chapter 16, the rich man and Lazarus. That's an actual event, and that Israelites are going to burn in hell. So, you know, Bishop Nate, in his back of his mind, well, he actually teaches it. He kind of pushes out in his mind that every member of GMS is going to burn in hell forever. Every member of IUIC going to burn in hell forever, ever. Every member of any Israelite group that's not part of the IUIC will burn in hell forever. Anybody that's part of IUIC that leaves IUIC, even if they go out and teach the same gospel because they're not under the leadership, will burn in hell forever. They will all burn in hell forever. Now Esau, according to the scriptures, they're going to be slaves in our kingdom. So Esau and the other nation will be doing way better than we are, because we're going to burn in hell forever, and the other nations are just going to have to serve slavery. Now, if I had a choice, I would take slavery in a heartbeat. And then, you know, these guys get mad. Well, GMS always well, you're always going off. If you start teaching the scriptures the right way, I guess if you call in the true name of the Most High and His Son, you're going to burn in hell too, because that's not, according to you, that's not His name. But every once in a while, you'll push out the name Yahweh, and sometimes Yahweh Shai. So, you know, here's the proof. And by the way, I'm going to put this on record, in case you'll say that we're lying, we're making stuff up. You know, 6 months from now, whatever the case may be, I got record everything, right? You never know, it may come back to bite you. So this is and then the thing is, this video's still up. I just clicked on it, so it's still up 3 years ago. See, when they change their doctrine, they forget to take down the old videos. And these zombies, they don't fact check things. If they were to be delivered, like let's say that the hell doctrine, IUIC's hell doctrine, which is a Roman Catholic doctrine, which goes back to the Greeks. Let's say it's true. If you go off on the scriptures in any way, you're going to burn in hell. So if the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, delivered the IUIC 3 years ago, 4 years ago, they would all, the destruction came, they would all wind up, every last member of the IUIC would wind up in hell. But there's no such thing as hell, you know, in the traditional Roman Catholic sense of the word. So watch all their videos that they did a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago. If you go back too far, 2.5 years to 3 years ago, they were not teaching about hell. So see, as you can see the title, this is IUIC Virginia, hashtag IUIC. What in the hell is hell? So I'm at the 333 mark of a 20-minute, 16-second video. So I'm going to let it play. You can watch the whole thing. So listen closely.
Us. We're lost. So what does that mean for hell? Read on.
Therefore, the book of Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 4, my blood gone into captivity, have no knowledge.
The laws, read on.
And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
Read.
Therefore, hell.
Therefore what?
Hell.
Therefore what?
Therefore, hell.
Read.
Hath enlarged herself.
Why?
And opened her mouth without measure. And their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and that he
and that word there, hell, in the Hebrew is death. The word there is sha'awal or sheol in Isaiah 5, 13, and 14. It has nothing to do with a spiritual hell. When you die, your soul burns in forever.
Rejoiceth shall descend into it.
So I'm going to summarize that. So hell, you didn't read about anything about fire in the middle of the earth in there, right? So guess what? Hell is a condition.
Right.
Our people are in hell right now as we speak because we don't keep God's laws.
They clearly changed that as of 2 years ago. You, like I said, you go to recent videos 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 years ago, 2 years and 3 months ago. They're saying that it's actually, they're speaking something the exact opposite of what they said 3 years ago. Let's pull that back.
So I'm going to summarize that. So hell, you didn't read about anything about fire in the middle of the earth in there, right? So guess what? Hell is a condition.
Right.
Our people are in hell right now as we speak because we...
So how can we go to hell if we're already in hell? Let's listen to that again.
And their multitude dried up with thirst.
Read.
Therefore, hell.
Therefore what?
Hell.
Therefore what?
Therefore, hell.
Read.
Hath enlarged herself.
Why?
And opened her mouth without measure. And their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it.
So I'm going to summarize that. So hell, you didn't read about anything about fire in the middle of the earth in there, right? So guess what? Hell is a condition.
Right.
Our people are in hell right now as we speak because we don't keep God's laws. Things like marrying, when you lay with a sister, you're supposed to marry that sister. Things like not eating shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, what you may think are small things, which are big on a grand scale to the Lord, we do otherwise. We go to church on Sundays, not keeping the Lord's Sabbath. We keep birthdays, Christmas, Halloween.
Yeah, because they say the Sabbath is a Saturday, which they're clearly wrong on. Them and all these other camps. Friday sundown and Saturday sundown. It's not the Sabbath unless the new moon falls on a Friday sundown. So they're going off on that. There's no way in hell, no pun intended, there's no way they can show me in the scriptures that the Sabbath day is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. First of all, the word Friday is not in the scriptures, anywhere in the scriptures. Now, if you go to the NLT, they put Friday in there, which they were going off on. So let me let you hear it one more time. Say a few more words, then I'm going to close. Come back over here. So listen up, listen up, listen up. And you can go to the video for yourself. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a copy of this video and put it on record so that we can have receipts. So if they say, oh, we never taught that, oh, I got receipts.
Verse 13.
Come on.
Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge,
They don't keep the laws. Read on.
and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with. Therefore,
Therefore what?
hell,
Therefore what?
therefore hell
Read.
hath enlarged herself,
Why?
and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it.
So I'm going to summarize that. So hell, you didn't read about anything about fire in the middle of the earth in there, right? So guess what? Hell is a condition.
Right.
Our people are in hell right now as we speak because we don't keep God's laws. Things like marrying, when you lay with a sister, you're supposed to marry that sister. Things like not eating shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, what you may think.
So I guess Isaac and Rebecca are going to hell because they didn't go to the church and walk down the aisle. Marriage is when you come together with a woman and you stay with that woman. A woman goes with another man, she gets put to death because of the act of adultery. Let me do this. Okay, let me take Isaiah 5 verse 13 and 14. Let's see what the Isaiah 5:13. So let me click on it. Okay, I want to go to the Bible Hub. Let it come on up. Okay, what does it say? Where's the actual precept? Therefore my people are gone into captivity. The famished, blah, 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 blah. Let me go to 14. I believe they're reading out of the King James. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself. So hell can expand and contract, and open her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into it. So now we're going to look up the word. We're going to go to the commentary. So this is Isaiah 5 verse 14. Start at the 13th verse. Going to go to commentary. Let's see what they say. Cambridge Bible. A second threatening and a sublime image of a sudden destruction of Jerusalem or Israel, the Israelites. The transition to the fate of the capital is somewhat abrupt. Hell hath enlarged herself. Better, Sheol, which means the grave or pit, hath enlarged her appetite. Habakkuk 2 verse 5. Let me put the cursor over it. It says yes also because, I'm sorry, this keeps coming up. Yes also because He transgresses by wine. He is a proud man, talking about Esau, the elite. Neither keepeth at home. He's all around the planet. Who enlarges his desire as hell, which is the pit, and is as death. So hell means the death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathers to him all nations and heaps to him all people. It says, yes, I'm read again. Also, because he transgresses by wine, his philosophy, his democracy, his militarism, he is a proud man. That's Esau, the elite of Esau. Neither keepeth at home. He goes all around the world. Who enlarges his desire as hell. Who enlarges his desire, what he wants, covets as hell. So can hell grow? Can it disappear and reappear? And as death. So when you look up the word hell, it's another way of saying death. The word in the Hebrew, like I said, I'm going to say it again for you knuckleheads out there that can't get this, it's slow. It's talking about the pit or the grave. So in Isaiah, in Isaiah 5:14, where it says, therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into it. That's the condition. It's not actually, in other words, a lot of y'all, when a plague comes, that's hell. Not everybody dies in the plague. The bubonic and the pneumonic plagues was hell, which is a condition, because a lot of people died, but not everybody died. Even when King David, let's go to that. And do it this way. Let me do it this way. King David even mentioned hell, and he was not talking about the fiery pits of hell. There's no description of hell in the Old Testament. So let me just put in hell. Okay, the first time hell is mentioned is Deuteronomy 32 and 22. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn into the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundation of the mountains. That's describing a volcano. A volcano is a mountain where in the middle of the earth is a burning fire, and it needs a release. So a volcano was a mountain that erupted. This is David, 2 Samuel 22 verse 6. The sorrows of hell compassed me about, the snares of death prevented me. So what does hell mean? It means death. The word is pit or grave. So why did David say that? Let's open this up. David's Psalm of Deliverance. So we're gonna find out who was hell. The hell that he was suffering was Saul. He was escaping Saul. Saul was trying to kill him. And David spake unto Yahweh the words of this song, which psalms are songs, in the day that Yahweh had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies and out of the hand of Saul. So his enemies were what? Were who? The Philistines, And then Saul, which was his own people, his own nation, tried to kill him a number of times, didn't succeed. Then his son Absalom tried to kill him. So when he was fighting against the Philistines, when he was running from Saul, and when his son came to kill him, take the kingdom, those are all examples of hell, which are the condition. And he said, Yahweh is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, the most high of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield, spiritual shield, and the horn of my salvation. Salvation means to be delivered from impending danger. So ultimately, David is going to be delivered from impending danger. My high tower and my refuge. Now high tower and refuge is also in Psalms 91. My Savior, thou saveth me from violence. The Philistines sought to kill him. King Saul sought to kill him by violence, and his son sought to kill him. I will call on. Now he described hell. He mentioned hell. Deliver me from hell, right? The sorrows of hell. What was the sorrows of hell? The Philistines, the King Saul, and his son Absalom. I will call on Yahweh, which is the name, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. When the wave of death, which is one of the words is hell, compassed me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. So hell is the ungodly men that made him afraid. The sorrows of hell, which is death, the pit, a grave, Sha'awal, Sheol, compassed me about. So was he fighting the Philistines, and if they push him back too much, he gonna fall right into the pit of hell and burn forever? The snares of death prevented me. In my distress, I called upon Yahweh and cried to my power, and he did hear my voice out of his temple, and my cry did enter into his ears. That's why we call on the name of Yahweh. The Most High is not listening to IUIC because they're calling on Most High and Christ bless. So this is why we don't deal with you clown-ass Christians. Because you actually think that there's an actual place called hell, which that goes back, that's Greek mythology. The Roman Catholic Church, the RCC, they got that whole concept of hell from Greek mythology. There's certain authors will say that. So let's come back here one more time, and then I'm going to close. Scriptures say, meddle not with them that are given the change.
My people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge.
They don't keep the laws. Read on.
And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
Read.
Therefore, hell.
Therefore what?
Hell.
Therefore what?
Therefore, hell
Read.
hath enlarged herself.
Why?
And opened her mouth without measure, and their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it.
So I'm going to summarize that. So hell, you didn't read about anything about fire in the middle of the earth in there, right? So guess what? Hell is a condition.
Right.
Our people are in hell right now as we speak because we don't keep God's laws. Things like marrying, when you lay with a sister, you're supposed to.
So what is it? Is it a condition that we're in? He said we're in hell right now. He said, is it a place in the middle of the earth of fire? You know, that traditional breakdown of the Roman Catholic hell. But now they teach it. They teach a Roman Catholic doctrine. One of the part of their doctrine, they teach that if you ain't right with the Most High, or you don't keep them laws, you're going to wind up in hell. Except Esau and the other nations, because they got to be your slave. So, like I said, if I had a choice, I would rather be an Edomite. So, anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom, on to the next.